I'm a little disappointed. Okay, I'm a little disappointed. I got some things to talk to you guys about. It's a little weird. It's a little strange. It's always strange when a celebrity and a fan speak. But this is just one of those really strange conversations. Now, I'm sure this is not the only one, but this was sent in to me, and I definitely want to talk to you guys about it because it really speaks volumes of where DJ is as far as like his interaction or his perspective when it comes to fans and the lack of self-awareness. Now, this is not going to be a bash DJ video, okay? Not necessarily. All right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, DJ is trash. He's this type of human being, right? I'm not gonna go into all that. But I will say that this is pretty infuriating and it's kind of irritating. But at the same time, we're gonna go through it. I'll look through it objectively and give you my take on how I feel about this whole weird, strange interaction.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so I won't say the person's name who sent this to me because they said, "Hey, please don't say my name," because they don't want people talking to them about it. But she sent this to me, very trustworthy source. Okay, so it's somebody that I've been in communication with, plenty of times. They're really cool, really down to earth. Interacts within the Spurs community. It just seems like a pretty cool person. Okay, so this person's really cool who sent this to me, and I really do appreciate sharing it. And they basically said, hey, you can share it just as long as you don't say my name. So I said, okay, cool. Funny enough, before we get into this, they first sent it with their parts blacked out, and I was like, no. Look, as long as you don't have like your address or doxing yourself, like I'm not gonna go over this. You could easily be calling him the B word, and then that's why he responded this way. But no, actually the responses were quite mature. Yeah. So before we talk about that, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com. All right, we're done with that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So what happened was, not apparently, this is exactly what happened. As you guys know, all the issues with DeJounte Murray thus far, with the things that he said about the San Antonio Spurs, he basically called them out on many occasions. All right, regardless of what people might say, he definitely took some shots at San Antonio. I'm not crazy. I'm not stupid. If you watch the interview, I reacted to the interview. There's no other way of interpreting it. You can say he spoke his truth or whatnot, but hey, a lot of players don't necessarily speak their truth. They keep things, under wraps and don't really worry about it. But DeJounte Murray, he went literally on the biggest Spurs haters podcast to talk about the Spurs. So I'm not going to be gaslit here. That's what happened. Spurs fans aren't happy. Obviously, they're not going to be happy. This isn't just like a one-time thing and why they're not happy. There's many reasons and many situations that DJ has put himself in that would make fans not too crazy about him right now, right? All right, so let's just go into this. I'll read through this whole interaction and then I'll give you my take. So this is DJ reacting to that comment. He said, yeah, you and the rest of fake fans are delusional. Whew. I never said I'll watch the Spurs to see who's clapping or mad. I'm dead. Y'all fake fans. And like I said, I love the real diehard Spurs fans. And then you can see she says, could you please stop though talking about the Spurs, man? I understand you went through a lot, but dang. And he said, y'all fans need to sit back and watch games and cheer, win or lose, because if you knew the inside of what goes on, y'all will be hurt and question who the F you cheering for. Trust and believe that. That's what he has to say. And then she says, what do they do? I'm really trying to have an adult conversation here. And I always cheer for the Spurs, win or lose. Hold on. Win or lose. I know no organization is perfect. I even told my friends Spurs do need to make changes so they can grow as an organization. Now, this is the part, this is why she just went ahead and leaked it to me and said, hey, I definitely would like for people to just talk about this or have some type of discussion, because that was a very reasonable response, I think, in my personal opinion. And then it came here, but I'm not giving my take yet. But this is what he had to say. I don't speak on the Spurs. I was asked a question, I answered with truth and facts, and still didn't say nothing to tell what really goes on. And no, I ain't telling you ish. You showed your true colors. I just had to put you in your place. I don't know how he put them in their place. I don't know what that means, because y'all tripping, trying to act like I'm talking down on the place I call home forever. Speaks who you people really are. Okay. She says, why are you so upset? I'm trying to understand you. He said, I'm upset because some of y'all fake fans trying to spread a narrative that I hate or speak down on Spurs. Go ask everyone on your roster now how much I impacted them and showed them the way, even if it was for them to be more successful than me. All right. It's a lot. It's a lot here. Here's the thing. If you've read this and you didn't know anything that was going on, or you didn't watch any of this interview from DJ, you would assume that, yeah, man, go after that fan. Go get him. Get him, DJ. Like, you would assume that, because the way that he's talking is almost as if he did nothing wrong. Like almost as if he gave like a minor critique and then fans just lost their mind. No one is stupid. No one is dumb. No one is going to be gaslit here. You literally went on one of the biggest Spurs haters known to man. That's what Steven Jackson is known for in the community, as being a huge Spurs hater. All he does is critique the Spurs to the nth degree, okay? This is the same guy that won a championship with the Spurs, didn't do anything else with any other team, but yet and still continuously says that they held him back, they held Kawhi back, they held you back. That's all he does. All he does when he talks about San Antonio Spurs, talks about how he's better than Manu, how he's better than Tony. That's it. That's all he does. And you chose to go on his podcast out of so many others. Why is that? Why? I'm not stupid. No one is stupid here. Like, every Spurs fan that's upset, there's a reason to be a little upset. All right. There are so many times in which Spurs fans just rolled with like a lot of things that DJ said and didn't really trip about it. Everyone was upset when he left. But then he started making comments, like really weird comments about how, well, he goes to Atlanta, the crowd is going to be way different. Like it's going to be way better. He was taking small shots here and there. And then once a fan reacted, then he started saying the system sucks. You're going to be losing for the next 15 years. Come on. Like, obviously people are going to have a sour taste in their mouth. And you going on at all podcasts, Steven Jackson, and while Steven Jackson is sitting there saying the Spurs did you wrong, and you're nodding your head the entire time and saying that, oh, the big three really holds you back, and you're nodding your head the whole time. I'm sorry. Fans are going to interpret this. Okay, you can take the context clues and say, yeah, you're talking trash about the Spurs. Not only that, even if you take these clips, they're weird, man. They're weird. You can't tell me that some of these aren't shots. Now, this is a really small clip. Obviously, we went over the entire thing, every single aspect of him talking about the Spurs. I mean, it was like an hour reaction, right? But this, yeah, this is weird.
They bring in a point guard from Argentina that's close with Manu, playing in front of me. And I'm behind Tony, Patty, but they playing these mind games. They trying to see if they could break me.
And mind you, who he's talking about is Nico. I think that's how you say his name. Who played 18 games for the Spurs, and he interpreted that as them playing mind games with him. It's 18 games. He's a rookie. 18 games, literally. And him and DJ had the exact same stats, mind you.
Not knowing you can't break.
They want you to break yourself.
They want you to break yourself. You get what I'm saying? Man, bro, this is too much, bro. I'm like, what did they put me through, bro? I don't understand. I start hearing your name. Steve Jack went through a lot of BS. Obviously, we know you. I know you cold, so you ain't got to tell me you cold. Come on, bro. People don't realize, bro. I went through so much there. Like, I was there 6 years. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
it don't seem like he was there that long either.
And let me say this, everything that he's saying, he kept alluding to, and that's where we're about to go into like some of the reaction with the fan, right? Because he kept going into, in this interview, how he went through a lot. But the only thing that he ever said that he went through is that he had to work hard to get his position, but he literally took Tony Parker's position almost immediately. Tony Parker was off the Spurs almost immediately. Like the only thing that he said that I think I could sit back and say, oh yeah, that kind of sucked for him, is that Tony Parker didn't mentor him. But there's lots of players in the NBA that weren't mentored by a Hall of Famer. It happens. It's just really weird.
It doesn't. I feel like, really like, and they know I feel this way. I feel like they really like, they drafted me, but they feel like the stuff that was going around the air of me coming from the hood and that I was gonna make it in Entourage 30 people.
Yeah.
Smoking, drinking, in articles about fighting, just ruining their reputation and what they stand for as a Spurs. You know, I think that's what they thought, but they never said that. You know what I mean? Just from the stuff I had to go through, like.
And I don't know if necessarily this is 100% true or not, but it seems like a huge bias. I mean, and the reason why I say it's a huge bias is because DeJounte Murray, like I said, it's right there. He became a starter at point guard, taking Tony Parker, a Hall of Famer's job. Okay? Not only that, after his huge injury, the San Antonio Spurs immediately signed him to a pretty nice deal that not a lot of teams would have done. So it's just weird that in one sentence and another sentence and another interview, he'll say something like, the San Antonio Spurs took a chance on me and they always believed in me. And then he'll go on to this podcast and say, you know, I don't know, it was always something about my background that they had a problem with. I don't know. It's strange.
And when they seen like he need a chance and this motherfucker be in the gym, like they start having to kick me out the gym. Like when they said you got access 24 hours every day, knowing I wasn't playing, so I'm like, lace him up, like we to the gym. You know what I mean? That was just the Rockets. Then my second year, they see I come back, obviously getting stronger, getting better. And then that was the year I took the job from Tony. Pop.
Then I don't.
About us in the office. You know what I mean? He told Tony. Tony ain't like it. I know he ain't like it.
You know he ain't like it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
his
for me,
boy.
I love real. Like keep it a buck with me.
Yeah.
Like keep it 100, bro. I'ma love you for that. You know what I mean? And I know he didn't like it. You feel me? Because if he liked it, he would have mentored me the way he should have.
Right.
He wouldn't have went to Charlotte. He would have stayed right there.
See, talking stuff. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. It's this is not, this whole time it was about what happened to DJ, right? What did he go through? And I watched the interview and it was nothing. He didn't say anything about what he went through. This is nothing. This is no. Oh, you took a player's job and then they went to Charlotte. Okay. What are we talking about here? It's just nonsense. And this clip doesn't show, but he also talked about Derek White. He said that he felt like Popovich always favored Derek White because DJ wasn't a yes man. But then he immediately goes back and said, well, I mean, I'm not saying Derek White is a yes man. That's exactly what you're saying. It was just, the whole interview was weird. It was definitely some shots at the Spurs and no good ground or basis to stand on as far as trying to complain about what he went through. It just seemed like a way for him to go onto a podcast with Steven Jackson and for the two to stroke each other's egos and talk about how bad the Spurs were to them. But in actuality, I mean, I said this even in live stream, the Spurs were worse to Steven Jackson than they were to DeJounte Murray. I would even say that. And I didn't even think that was that bad, but they were definitely worse to Steven Jackson. But that's the thing. So you look into here and he should have, he knows that this could get out, right? And he says here, like right here, he says, y'all fans need to sit back and watch games and cheer win or lose, because if you knew the inside of what goes on, y'all will be hurt and question who the F you cheering for. Trust and believe that. If you're gonna, I hear this all the time, man, and you only hear this when someone's talking like nonsense or something negative, but you always hear this person keeps it real, right? This person always keeps it real. You know, say what you want, but this dude, he keeps it real, right? Every single time, and it's always something negative. It's always something like dumb, right? And when I look at this, he says, hey, trust, believe that. If you knew what was, or don't, because you went on here and you said quite a bit. And then you want to come back and say, well, well, you know, if you guys knew the truth, then why didn't you just speak the truth? Because everything that you said here, you really built it up like it was a real issue that you were dealing with the Spurs, and it just didn't sound like it, especially from the outside looking in. If you're gonna say it, just say it. Don't beat around the bush, but then talk bad about a player here and there. It's just lame, man. And then it doesn't help when you go out of your way and earlier on you post stuff like this. Like the system, the way it's set up, you're gonna be losing for the next 15 years. Problem bigger than basketball. He keeps alluding to this, and people that are in love with DJ, they're easily like swayed into saying it got to be something. You know, that are really pro player type people. It got to be something. He said it. No, it's nothing. It's a non-issue right now. The San Antonio Spurs. We know this is a Look, here's the thing, guys. This is a multi-million-dollar industry. All right, they make so much money, filthy rich. Okay, we know, I don't think anyone's stupid here. All right, we know that there's going to be weird, shady things that happens in organizations. The only reason why Spurs fans are comfortable with their organization, not only because of the winning, but one of the main things is the fact that when you look at the San Antonio Spurs and you compare it to other teams, they're one of the better organizations. Okay. They're not perfect. Obviously, you got RC Buford who got a DWI at some point. Like you got weird stuff that happens with the front office. No, they're not perfect. All right. And this whole thing, if you knew what happened behind closed, I'm sure it's a lot of shady stuff that happened closed doors. Everyone knows that. All right. They make a lot of money. Obviously, it's going to be some weird stuff happens. A lot of power there, right? The power dynamics, it's going to be something off. All right. But at the same time, I mean, you're sitting here and you're saying all this about if you knew this, if you knew that. Won't you say the same thing about Atlanta? Because right now, what we heard about the Atlanta Hawks is that it's being ran by a bunch, just being ran with straight up pure nepotism. All right, they got the owner's son who's making a lot of the shots. He hired his friend hired a friend. Like that's who's running your organization right now. As far as what's going on behind closed doors, that's a lot of drama over there, a lot more. And he's even said himself that there's more drama in Atlanta than he had to experience with San Antonio. So stop it. You already said that Atlanta, there's so much drama in Atlanta and you didn't have to really deal with that as much with the Spurs. Well, dang. I don't know. I said my piece. This video went on way too long. Like I said, this isn't something where I'm trying to say DJ is a trash person or trash. I just think this is just weird. This is just a weird interaction, strange thing. I appreciate the person sending this to me. I mean, it was interesting and I did want to share it, but at least their responses through the messages, it seemed okay. Even when they were like, all right, look, I just want to talk. All right. Can we just tell me? All right. And he's like, well, I called you out. So it's like, whatever, dude. Anyways, I'll give it to you guys later. You want to support the channel as always, clanthemerchfan.com. Until next time, man.